All right, so I haven't made a video in a while. I just thought, you know what, let me just clear a few things up and yeah, just show you guys what we are seeing. There's a lot of different opinions in the market where we at, and I know everyone is interested mostly in Ethereum, where that is heading, and we have different opinions. We have, you know, one of the crypto G's like BitBoy saying that look, it could break down a little bit, but I'm maybe seeing that we should start picking up, and it could be dancing around this range a little bit. We could consolidate a little bit here, maybe we could fly up. It's a bit unsure, right? And then you're saying a person like Da Vinci J15, as you guys know, I really follow a lot what he says, and basically what he's saying at this point, if you watch his latest video, is that we could actually head, let's see here, due to the weekly divergence, we could basically head like based on a technical analysis, we could head from here all the way down to $500, approximately right here, and that's based on the weekly divergence. Now, I'm going to cover a few things, whether I believe whether that is the case or not. So if we just draw a little bit from here, this is more or less what he's saying. So I think this is the lowest from the weekly divergence, which would cause it right here, right? And this would be insane, right? If we hit $500. Now, does he mean that, okay, you know what, the bull market is over? No, what he means is that we'll probably, either we will do something like, let me just try to draw a little bit. So we'll probably do a little bit of either a big downward movement, and then we will just, start flying back up. But he's very, very bullish, and I'm going to be talking about a little bit of what your strategy should be. I mentioned to a lot of people that you shouldn't. That's my personal opinion, that you shouldn't be selling out everything. And you can see here Bitcoin rejection here, 37,000 on So's capitalization from short term. Yeah, but nevertheless, my opinion was that I don't believe that you should be selling everything, right? If you want to say, you know what, I want to make a bet, and I actually want to bet a small part of my portfolio in case we have this, crazy divergence and we fall all the way down. I want to have something to pick it up here. Now, personally, I do recommend this. I do not recommend this. Sorry, I do not recommend this because we never know with the markets. Now, what Da Vinci is saying at this point, and which I strongly, strongly believe, based upon my research, is that we will probably do something like this, break maybe a little bit higher, give, no, not all the way, sorry, here, probably around, I think, to the 3,000 sumish level. So we were probably around this level, and then we will start to go back. I do not, and I repeat, I do not believe that we will go all the way down to the 500. This is only based upon the technicals. This is not taking into the consideration of all the fundamentals. And let's talk about it. What's happening with the fundamentals? Why do I not believe it? And look, for me to say that I'm going a bit against Da Vinci is a bit crazy, but I definitely believe that. If you look at it, on July the 14th, you can imagine there's going to be a triple halving for Ethereum, right? So if we go back and look at Bitcoin and what has happened during the halvings, right? Guys, you have to take into consideration, like my opinion is obviously my opinion, but like I don't go against the opinions of people like Da Vinci, but at this point I am, because I don't believe that Ethereum is just only based upon the fundamentals. I definitely do not. If you look right here, where approximately all these halving status, now we only have data up approximately here, but you have the halving approximately at these times, you can see this huge run up. We have some, we have the halving, I think, approximately right here, and then you can see the huge run up as well, right? And this is just Bitcoin, right? So this is from here all the way up here, and this is Bitcoin, guys. This is huge. This is since when? 2020. This may not be a lot for you guys. You're like, oh, 600%. But if you're a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, this is a lot of people. There's a lot of money for a lot of people. Now, basically, when the EIP 1559 is going to be released, there's a triple halvening not like a normal halving like this, a triple halving for Ethereum, right? And that is, you can imagine, that is as aggressive as three huge, three huge halvings for Bitcoin, right? So basically, because there's going to be burned so much Ethereum, so that's something that you have to take into consideration and have to understand that the fundamentals are so strong. That's why I don't believe. Look, I have. Let me just try to find here. I saw this post right of the weekly divergence, and you can basically see that we have, that we have to break this level most likely tomorrow. I don't think that we will break above it. I think we'll probably close down a little bit underneath here, and then we'll consolidate a little bit here. And this is Da Vinci's basically saying, look, I think we'll probably head around here 2,300 tomorrow. I think it's going to be like this, A, B, C, D, E, and then probably we'll either break to the upside or the downside. Now, if we do break to the downside, yeah, I do believe that we can probably get it either to the 61.8, which is 2,119, right? So I think we can probably go back to the 61.8 at this point. And if we really suck, then yeah, probably to the 1623. Will I wait? I will try to keep a little bit USDT to have at these levels, but I will definitely at this point be dollar cost averaging within these levels, because the fact of the matter is, look, even most are saying, look, this is very bearish and this on. And yeah, we have a triangle forming with a bearish butterfly inside, overbought, and bearish divergent on the other side, rejecting the supply level approximately 2,600. What does this mean, right? Should you wait? Look, guys, I'm going to tell you one thing I did. One thing that I did do is that I waited, at many levels trying to buy cheaper, but I always messed it up once I did that. So now all I do is that, um, yeah, you can see here there's a lot of FUD. Bitcoin, the top is probably already in. Just don't believe what you read, guys. Just honestly, don't believe what you read. I read a post somewhere where someone was talking about this is the time that's either going to be like a lot of people are going to make it or break it. There's so much FUD right now. But to be honest, I just I wouldn't, I'm not paying attention to any of it. Yeah, but this is the time that either you make it or you break it. Do you know what I mean? Like if everyone was like, if crypto was basically everyone was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get rich, Lambo, 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 Lambo. Do you know what I mean? Like it would just like everyone would be here. But this is because we have these huge shakeouts of a lot of people. That's why you should only invest so much as you're not willing to lose in crypto. At the end of the day, even if we see that this is the top and oh yeah, we see the bottoms approximately, let's say the bottoms is, whatever, I would still hold long term. There's no reason why you should be selling. But let's get back to the topic as we have in hand. So if you leave Ethereum transaction the same day as today, after this, EIP 1559, it will give you a yield of 69% to all the stakers. So basically, it will give you a huge yield afterwards. So basically, if you're staking Ethereum, it gives you 69%. And that means that Ethereum is so cheap that you don't even want to believe it. If you just assume that Ethereum, the rate becomes 4%, it means that, that the rate of Ethereum price has to go upwards of 42,000. And, we're talking about the next 9 to 10 months. So let me give you an example. Basically, if you can imagine that the Ethereum rate, it's 4%, then you have to adjust the price. Now, if Ethereum is burned hugely, you can imagine 15,000 Ethereum burned per day. Then you can imagine that the supply that we have, from 115 million, will come down to 99 million in just a few years. From 115 million to 99 million. And you can already know the reason why Bitcoin is so huge valued is because that it's an asset that has a limited supplies. Now, Ethereum is an asset that has an even lower supply, like, a decreasing supply. So what does this mean, guys? Personally, what I'm saying is that, will I say that, am I going against Da Vinci and saying, oh, we will not break? He's basically saying, look, if you look at the weekly divergence, basically, he believes that, yeah, we will probably hit these levels right here, right? So we will go back to the lows. No, he doesn't think so. That's wrong of me to say. But what he is saying is that there's a possibility, the worst case disaster scenario is that we will go down here, right? But then if we come down here, if we have a fast move, failed fast move, then we will have, a huge upside to the opposite direction. So personally, what I'm doing is that I'm not selling out here, because if I sell, I know for a fact that if the price could do something like this, right? It could shake all of us out, and it could do something like this, because the market is designed to take most amount of people from most of the people most of the time. So it could do something like this. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's going up, right? And you don't even know what level, maybe it's even a new all-time high. You never know. And then it just like, boom, crashes down. And then we may be a little bit down here. What I believe is going to happen is that, if I can just delete this, I don't even know how to do it. But what I believe is that, if you just ignore this drawing, is that we will probably be consolidating at these levels. I don't think that we will go lower. Maybe we go a little bit lower to maybe the 1800s and so on. And yeah, and then just stay here for a little while, and then we will just have a huge run up. Approximately, I think, mid June. I think that's when we'll have the run up. So that's what I believe, and I know most of you are interested in Ethereum. I do not believe that the bull market is over. Absolutely not, because if it's over, that would basically that will make then everything that indicates the price of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so on does not have any value. We can't use any of it. Then we have a bigger problem at hand. These huge hedge funds, they have a huge problem at hand if all these stock to flow models and so on, if they're not valid anymore. Then we have a fundamental issue. And to be honest, I don't think that these huge hedge funds throwing in billions and billions and billions of dollars in Bitcoin and trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible would do that. So this is just a shakeout of a lot of retail investors, a lot of retail hands. And yeah, I honestly just think that you should be holding on. Again, if you bought Bitcoin, say at $5,000, if you bought it at $7,000, today you wouldn't care that much. You'd be like, look, what difference does it make? Or if you bought let's say Bitcoin at $5,000, and you're trying to short it once it came back, you're like, I'll buy it once it comes back to 3,500, right? So if we actually have a look, there's actually a meme. I think there's a meme where, if I just agree here, it's basically this way, me waiting for the dip. And this is basically, look, this is most people, they're just waiting for such a small dip. If Ethereum hits 30,000 and you get a huge discount at this moment, why wouldn't you be buying more Ethereum? And even if you have Ethereum, let's say you bought Ethereum at £100 or what, $100 or 200 or 300, $500, it doesn't matter. If you're still holding it, then just keep holding it. There's no reason to start selling off and this and that. Just keep holding on. Grayscale, all these huge hedge funds, they're not stupid, they're not silly. They know what they're doing. And so should you be. This is retail investors trying to squeeze that little price out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't wait for the Bitcoin drop. Do not wait for it. Do not. Yeah. Don't do this. Don't be this guy. So what is the best bet? Start dollar cost average. Just start dollar cost averaging. Start dollar cost averaging. That's it. I think this is probably the best scenario to show. Come on, just a little bit more, almost there, and then oh crap. And then you can see I have a long way to go, guys. So what would I say at this point? Dollar cost average. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, man. Peace out.